So we have part 11 of the Road to 1800. We'll just start up a game. Okay, and before this game I did some puzzles. Let's check out the profile first to make sure I'm not playing against a cheater. Can't I abort? Looks like I can't. Okay, so we can't first if we spend a certain amount of time we can't abort the game, but it's fine anyway. So we'll play our opening. Yeah, d4 is the best move. Let's play the Portuguese gambit. The best move here is f3 and then we'll drop the bishop back, but bishop e2 is also very popular. Okay, f3 and bishop b5 check. Interesting. c6 takes, and we take with the knight or the pawn. It's probably the way to go, right? Yeah, let's play c6. Hold on. If I take with the knight, this pawn does not get pushed, but it still might be interesting to consider this. Now let's take with the knight. Yeah, if he takes, we will have a isolated pawn though. Knight c3. Okay, so this is now a threat. I could play a6 or e6. a6 is just going to take. a6 takes. e6 stops d5. Yeah, I think e6 is better because that way we can get our bishop out. Can they play the pin? Oh, so d5 is getting reinforced again. So if I block d5, no, if I block takes, d5, and I take with the pawn, might take with the knight, and that's a little bit annoying. Might have to play a6 to get rid of this pin. Right, let me double check. Takes, d5, takes. Yeah, I don't like this. Let's play a6 to get rid of this pin. Might even take here first and then take here, but then the bishop pair is lost. Okay, so they took, and now at the very least we have another supporter for the d5 square. Okay, they developed the knight, and I think just a simple bishop e2 and castles should be fine. If he doesn't take the knight, I might even jump my knight into the middle. There's even a crazy argument to be made for taking with a g-pawn, so that we get an opened rook. I don't think it's good though, because he will probably block with the knight. Okay, castles. I'm really liking knight d5. The question is, should I castle first? Yeah, knight g3 is also coming, hitting my bishop. So what do we play? Castles, he takes, and then we'll have the bishop pair, but I actually want to keep this knight. This knight is really good. If takes, we can take with the c-pawn, and then we have a nice pawn structure. Might play c4. I think we'll castle and then figure it out. But something tells me that he's not going to take the knight, because then we'll have the bishop pair against the knight pair. And also I have rook b8. Rook b8 is a very nice move, attacking the b2 pawn. Okay, bishop drops back, interesting. So if we play knight d5, takes. Our pawn structure is corrected again. That's the good part. But the problem is that I don't have a knight on d5 anymore. I might play rook b8 first, attacking the pawn. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then however he reacts, we could still play knight d5. We could also consider c5, takes, and then we can't take back though. Oh, we could also play queen b6. That's actually interesting. And then e5 takes, we take the bishop. Yeah, but rook b8 seems very natural. Yeah, queen b6 also hits the pawn. Oh, queen b6, knight a4. Yeah, that might be annoying. Actually, knight d5 takes, and then we'll have the c file to attack here. So I'm gonna have to make a decision here. Let's start with rook b8, just improving the rook, attacking the pawn. I don't think there's anything wrong. Yeah, b3. If I play knight d5 takes c4, yeah, and then all of a sudden that's actually really good for him because he doesn't have any weaknesses. Queen b6, knight a4. We could drop back like this, and then he's gonna go here. Takes. Oh, it's actually not ideal. Yeah, queen b6, knight a4 here or here. I can't let that happen. Here takes c4. Yeah, I don't like that either. All of these options are kind of bad. You know, I might just play queen c7 and then bring the rook here. I don't like knight d5 and I don't like queen b6 either. Yeah, bring the rook and then maybe play c5. That might be a better plan. You might even still play knight a4 just to take this c5 square. But then we'll play rook d8, pinning the pawn to the queen. So it's still unclear. Queen b6, knight a4 here. Takes. Yeah, I don't like that position for me. And knight d5 just invites my opponent to get a nice position with c4, putting pressure on my center, gaining space. That's not what I want. Actually, if he plays knight a4 right now, we have knight d5 gaining tempo on the bishop. And then we have a nice centralized knight. Oh yeah, there is something I've just realized. Bishop f4 looks like a skewer, but after bishop f4 we have bishop d6 getting out of that skewer, so that's pretty nice. I might even suspect that the opponent doesn't have a good internet connection, because otherwise there's not really that much to think about in this position. Could be wrong though, and he's just thinking about all the possible moves that can happen. Okay, so the opponent's down to 2 minutes now. Okay, so the timer is running out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, so the opponent just probably had some connection issues, or they had to do something urgently, whatever it was. But we did gain the ELO point, so we're now about one game away from 1600. So that concludes for our part 11. If you enjoyed the game and my commentary, consider subscribing. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.